coming at ya
with a beer review.
What?
This should be a fun beer. I've been fighting a cold, and I think I'm well enough I can get away with drinking a beer. Check what we've got out. Here it is. It's the Dark Star Bourbon Barrel Aged Oatmeal Stout Coffee Edition from Freemont Brewing out of Seattle, Washington. And this one's supposed to be pretty fabulous. I've heard people say that this is better than Goose Island's Bourbon County Coffee Stout. So it should be wonderful. I want Christian, though, to go ahead and read this.
Crazy business.
Yeah, we've had Dark Star, both of us, before.
Yes, we have off tap. That's delicious.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It says KDS Dark Star Coffee, Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout with coffee. That right there just lights me up a fire. I just get excited. This year's release is a blend of 18, 12, and 8-month bourbon barrel. Bourbon barrel aged KDS Dark Star and 12-year-old Kentucky bourbon barrels.
That's right. So they blended a variety of ages of the Dark Star, which is amazing all by itself.
I hope this one has more of the 18-month aged.
So this has been stored at about 52 degrees.
Now, hold
so
on.
we're going to get into this pretty quick.
Do you want to hear the down and dirty?
Oh, down and dirty.
Down and dirty. It's pale, roast barley, crystal 60, chocolate, and carafe 2 malts. Wow.
Yeah, carafe 2. And they also have flaked oats in it.
Yep.
They use Magnum, Willamette, and Cascade hops. And I know that's from the base of what Dark Star is.
He's correct.
Oh, it said that on there, so there you go. All right.
Yeah, it has coffee.
So, and if you don't know, Fremont is known for their barrel-aged series, and they've got some amazing stuff. But this one alone, Jim has said, my one buddy that's done a few reviews with me says it's fabulous. So we're going to get this thing cracked open.
We don't have to fight with Rusty today. I left him at home.
Wow. Look at this. This is black, right?
Well, let's see here. I would say that's definitely opaque.
Yeah, it's definitely opaque.
Definitely opaque.
And the head's kind of winding down, but man, it's a pretty dark head on that even, you know?
It has an abyss head, where it's nice and molasses-looking head. I know. Sorry, we use that as a reference. We do live in Portland.
We are from Portland, yes. Let's get the nose.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got dark fruits right away, actually. That was one of the first things that hit me. I'm getting some of the coffee, not a lot, but I definitely get the coffee
for sure.
I get like dark roast going on. I get dark chocolate going on. I get the booze in it. And I love Heaven Hill booze in there, you know, the Heaven Hill bourbon.
You know, that's a bourbon I haven't had yet.
Oh, just drinking it?
Yeah, I think I might have to have
that.
that one. So, I think that's on the order list. Yeah, definitely can smell the booze. You can smell the coffee. You get that molasses scent to it. A little bit of creaminess.
Yeah, a little creaminess, or a light vanilla on there, I would say.
You almost get like a nutty flavor to it in a way.
Like maybe an almond. But my nose is not quite pulling out as much, fighting off this cold. I think it's time to dive in. Cheers, everyone. Wow. That's rich.
That is...
Oh my God, that's rich.
Oh my. Can you taste the coffee now?
I can taste the coffee. I can seriously taste the Heaven Hill bourbon. I mean, that's some big bourbon on there.
That's some tasty bourbon.
Wow. But it's got a ton of like deep roast and coffee on there. You get that it's an oatmeal, but it's just, I don't know, it's intense.
Yeah, you get the smooth creaminess from the oatmeal. It's dank. I mean, you're talking about just creamy, heavy on the tongue. The chocolate notes, it's deep dark chocolate, but it's not like a cocoa. It's an actual like a mix between. It's like a dark chocolate, I'd say.
It's someplace between. You got dark chocolate and I'd say a bitter sweet chocolate. And there's a lot of the
Baker's chocolate?
Yeah, like a baker's chocolate, exactly. There's a lot of bitterness that comes off it. The Magnum kick on there, I suspect, is pretty big. So it just accentuates the bitter aspect, like bitter coffee, bitter chocolates, that baker's chocolate. But there's enough sweetness on this as well to balance it out, and then you got that nice creaminess coming from the oats.
I am now getting those hops at the end, that bitterness. But I'm telling you, it is a fine line having enough bitterness and getting your hop presence in there with such a deep dark beer to make it this pleasing.
And it's deep dark. I want to emphasize those words you just said.
Yeah.
Because this is deep dark. What's interesting is you get maybe a light char, but it's a light char. So it's not one of these deep dark where there's like a huge big char aspect to it. It's more the sweetness shining through and that oatmeal aspect's coming on. Some of the caramel in there because you've got your
toffee.
Crystal 60. Yeah, burnt toffee. Wow.
Get a little bit of a leatherness to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is intense. I think we're going to take a little time with this and we'll come back. We've taken some time with it.
Yes, we have.
He just gave his compliments right there. What
To
can
the
we say?
chef.
That's right.
To the brewer.
Oh my. But it's warmed up. It's become more viscous. The mouthfeel has become thicker. For me, I think some of the flavors are there, and in some ways they're more intense almost. A little bit more of the oats. I want to compare this for people that haven't had this to like other things. And I can't remember how much of these you've had, but for me, it reminds me to a small degree of the Hopping Frog, to the Boris and Doris series, that have this like bitterness to it, but that's a char bitterness that comes off of those. And this is not a char bitterness. This is clearly a hop bitterness,
Which is fantastic.
along with coffee bitterness.
Yes.
So it's a little different. And to compare this to Bourbon County Coffee Stout, you can't. They're just different beers. It reminds me in my amateur Imperial Stout days of like the first time I had Yeti, and there was like this bitter edge to it because the IBUs were so high, and it was like you all thought I was going to hate it. I actually really liked it, but this takes that bitterness to another level, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely another level. And that's the great thing about it is you didn't notice how hoppy it was until like we had it on tap. I didn't notice how hoppy it was until right now when it had the coffee flavor in it, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, the coffee brings out the hops, and that's quite enjoyable.
So this is definitely a world-class beer. I don't think there's any question about it.
Yeah.
And almost the only thing you can do is say it's got that bitterness like a Boris or a Doris, but it's more intense, it's bigger, it's just richer, it's deeper. There's more excellent bourbon on this. It's a really good bourbon. So we're going to try to jump to ratings. So for me, I'll just jump right in terms of I'm the sweet guy, and this is bittersweet. So it's not going to appeal quite as much as probably the regular for me. I'm giving it a 97 though. I think it's just really wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. I'm going to do a 98 because obviously I'm a hop man.
Yeah.
And that appeals to my side. Quality overall for a bourbon barrel-aged oatmeal stout. Crazy good.
overall is really tough because this is one heck of a quality beer. Do you go up? Do you go down on your overall? No, for me, I say right the same overall. This is world class. This is still a 97 overall.
And because I love hops, I'm going to stay right at 98 overall. It really doesn't affect this beer whatsoever. The quality's there. The masterful work that they've done is there. And it is something you got to get.
It's just,
you get your hands on it.
go find Dark Star. You can get Dark Star. You'll be able to find it. So here it is again. It's the KDS Dark Star Bourbon Barrel Aged Oatmeal Stout Coffee Edition. Now that's quite a long title from Freemont Brewing out of Seattle, Washington. And I got to tell you, I haven't tried the ancient ones. I've had friends that have. I would love to. We'll get there eventually. This is Kevin.
This is Christian.
At Clemens Homebrew, we're saying life is too short
To drink cheap beer
and we will see you
on the next beer review.
Cheers, everyone. We'll catch you later.
Gonna keep sipping on this.
Oh, yeah.